It is the indwelling of the Christ ego within. That is the goal of this evolution of consciousness.
Those are the blazing eyes.
So Barfield's final participation is being in Christ. You can't be in final participation unless you're in the higher ego consciousness, which means to be in Christ.
Even that section of humanity, which escapes the Babylonian plunge into the abyss, finds that the step from the whore to the bride requires continuous and intensive spiritual activity. Without cooperation from man's inmost being, a new Babylon is forever rising of itself. So a battle must be fought between the two cities which the writer of the Apocalypse saw in great vision at the end of the path. There comes a warlike host galloping on white horses. So, and then further down he says, the robes of pure shining linen in which the wedding guests were clad are now seen as the robes of the army.
He actually sees the rider on the white horse as not representing Christ, but humanity in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why it stops short of being able to actually like overcome Satan himself. Like that, like an angel has to intervene to do that. But if the rider on the white horse were simply Christ, and that we really were just waiting for like a divine rescue mission and to Jesus to come back in conqueror mode, riding a white horse, like literally physically in the material world. I think you get what I'm saying. He flips how most people read the text. Like most people read the text as like the proclamation of a divine rescue mission that is coming. Well, Bach is saying that absolutely the spiritual realm is cooperating and acting here, but there is still a role for the humanity that is in Christ and united to Christ to play in defeating evil, essentially.
Humility must be united in the soul with courage.
Yeah.
For Christ wills not only to be brother and friend to man, he also expects that man should summon up courage to become a friend of God and a brother of Christ. In St. Paul's words, not I, but Christ in me, will have no reality unless man ventures to bridge the gulf which separates God and man. And then further down, he says, immediately after the seer John experiences the octave of that hour in which he lay on Jesus's breast and heard his exhortation to friendship with God, the heavens open and the picture of the white rider appears to him. Through the grace of communion, man must grow mature enough to look into this picture as into a mirror.
Right. This is what the throne visions were about of the Hebrew temple mystics, right?
Yeah.
Seeing that enthroned figure.
Yeah.
Right. So like that is the image of divine humanity, which Christ is the fulfillment of.
Mm-hmm. What is a mirror? What is a mirror for, Nate? Looking at yourself.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's like, yeah.
This is it, right?
That's it.
Mm-hmm. It's all good. We can go home now.
We see now through a mirror darkly.
I know.
Right?
I know.
So it's like
if we simply say I to ourselves, we indicate thereby our human personality so far as we are conscious of it. We cannot stop short at this I without becoming closed in and spiritually sterile. And that's the mirror that you don't see through, right?
Right.
We must strive to provide a home in our I for a higher being. The words, not I, but Christ in me, teach us to be I in such a way that another says the word through us.
Right.
This is the secret hidden in the second name of the White Rider. It indicates the ego which is filled by God and so bears the divine I in the human I.
Like the church ultimately is the cosmos, right?
Mm-hmm.
The creator becoming the creation is the end. That's what the union of heaven and earth means.
Right.
Like,
yep.
There won't be any ontological gulf whatsoever.
Well, that's
I don't think there ever was, by the way. I think it's an illusion.
Perception.
Because of our own pride and fear and sin keeps us from seeing what is.
Mm-hmm.
It's already the case.
You're already there, and you need to discover it. And I think that that's the role that the elect play, actually. I think that what the elect are people who have unveiled that and seen it, right? Because
and can help other people learn to see it.
that's that hiddenness of God. It's not that God isn't in the world. It's that it's hidden, right? I mean, that's the significance of the veil being torn in the Holy of Holies, is that God is revealed in Christ, right? Christ is the revealer. So there's nothing hidden anymore.
Ultimately, what Christ is the coming out into the open of this of what was maintained as a guarded secret within the mystery religions for the initiate only, like Christ makes open to all. So that's like, it's not a different mystery. It's the same mystery.
It's just revealed. It's revealed.
It's just now revealed. And the mystery is that is learning to die before you die, and learning that death is a transformation.
Right. Yeah.
With the vision of the heavenly Jerusalem, 7, the number of time, gives way to 12, the number of space, which I love. Yeah. When the number 12 makes its appearance, we enter a spiritual temple, which is a variation of the dome of the stars, encircled by the 12 signs of the zodiac. It's kind of what you see when you walk into an Orthodox church.
Yeah, the dome is so, like, I don't know how every church doesn't have a dome.
Like, I know.
How is it like, do you not understand what communion really is? Come on, get with the program, people.
The wall with the 12 gates guarded by 12 angels, and on the gates the names of the 12 tribes of the Old Testament. On the foundation of the names of the 12 apostles of the New Testament, embellished with the 12 precious stones and the 12 pearls. The angel with the golden reed takes the measurements and proclaims it is the measure of man. The spiritualizing of the new creation is at the same time a humanizing of it. Isn't that just gives me goosebumps?
Because it's through us that it's accomplished.
I know.
Like, because Christ shares our nature. So, like, we're by definition involved.
Right.
I read a weird comment on Twitter this morning from someone who was like saying that whatever the imago Dei is, and for the human being, it can't be tied to the human body. But it's like, what? I'm like, how could it not be? Are you denying the incarnation? Like, to say that the human body has nothing to do with it is to deny the incarnation. It's like,
yeah, a living emblem and hieroglyphic of eternity and time.
It's created by God and becomes the dwelling place of God. So, like, to me, like, the mirror and the temple images are connected.
Oh, of course.
So, yes. Because they're both pointing you toward the indwelling, which is the true nature.
I mean, the tabernacle represented creation. It was the 7 days of creation, right? And it was erected in the midst of the people. And where did God dwell? In it. Like, it's like a message in a bottle. Hello, I'm here, right in the middle of creation. See me? Look.
And we are that presence of God in the middle of creation.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to learn to wake up and see.
Yes. Yes.
There is that indwelling manifestation of the presence and glory and beauty of God that we're to be, again, it is the anagoge. It's the further up and further in, the transformation, that happens in a sense, step by step.
Well, that's reinforced by the Kabbalistic legend of the Shekinah too, because like the Shekinah is actually like our soul is a fractal of the Shekinah in that tradition.